Hello, everyone. Welcome to another awesome day of FileMaker training. I'm Richard Carlton, creator of FMTrain.tv, where every day is a great day of learning about the FileMaker platform. And so today we have Christian Schmitz with us. But before we get into that, let's talk about the upcoming broadcast schedule. We are broadcasting in high definition on YouTube, Twitch, and Discord. We have been continuing to have Discord issues, so and they've been issuing a lot of updates. So it's always great in the world of software when it works, and then when it doesn't work, it makes stressful for everyone. We're hoping that we have another computer ordered up, another Mac Studio, and we're going to attempt to determine if there's a hardware issue or maybe the order in which we install the software. We're going to be working on that ourselves. So today is Christian Schmitz, MonkeyBread plugin 14.2. I've been told that he wants to show off 938 new custom features that he wants to show us, so we'll get to that momentarily. Christian Schmitz, you want to tell us about your MonkeyBread plugin for FileMaker 14.2. What is it and why should I care?
As you may know, we are having a plugin for 18 years now. And over the time, we added a lot of functions. And currently we are up to 7,300.
You rounded that number. Is it exactly 7,300 or you round that up or down?
Where's the statistics page?
Yeah.
7,394. Yeah, I didn't want to write 7,400 yet. Oh, I can do that next week.
Do that next time. All right.
So we have a new version of the plugin. The plugin is regularly updated with enhancements to make it work with future FileMaker versions, and update it to work with the current operation systems. So I have to do a lot of maintenance, update some open source libraries used, and then add features based on user feedback. And one of them is that we have over 100 JSON functions now, and one of them is the one to merge two things in JSON.
Okay.
So if you work with JSON blocks, like you may get a list of UIDs from one table and another table, and you may want to merge them, you can do that with a plugin. So we have a few examples here. You can merge two arrays together and get an array with only the entries from both input arrays.
Okay.
Same for objects. You can just merge them. If the object has the same key, the value is either replaced, or if it's again an array or an object, we merge them again. So we had some users doing a lot of JSON operations, and they needed to merge big data sets. And this function saves them a lot of work.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so here subkey A is in the input and in the output, and it has an object. So again, it's merging A and B, and so you get A and B here. So
you escaped the quotes in there, right? The A, that's why that / You want to, for people who are beginning or enemy, can you explain that real quick? I know it's basic, it's not.
So the example should be self-contained. So this expression can be copied over to FileMaker, and then you can just put it in the data viewer and you can run it.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah.
So, and to make that work, I have to put a backslash in front of every quote here to make sure that the plugin will read it. So
okay, so
if you have the JSON in a field, you don't need the extra backslashes. It's just to have them here in the calculation directly.
So, Margaret, you understand the idea with quotes, because quotes normally with a FileMaker string help you separate things. But what if you actually need a quote for actually a quote?
Oh,
like
you want the quote actually? Oh, okay. So you add the slashes. That makes sense.
And so the term is it escapes it out. Is the tech term from the programmer types that say that. So you actually get a quote instead of separating a string from a field from a variable or something.
Yeah. So, and you would notice if we remove a backslash here by accident, the plugin complains that this bracket doesn't have an opening bracket because it's inside the string now. And here this bracket gets a different color because it's now outside the string.
Mm.
The syntax highlighting helps to find this kind of errors.
Yeah, once again, it's like spaces on a URL or something like that. Spaces generally bad juju, right? On the URL, right? It's that kind of idea. Okay. All right. Sorry, keep going. I just thought I'd throw that out.
Okay. So JSON merge, useful function. Just if you need it, you have it. Enjoy it. Next one is we have our search function in JSON. We also have a replace function. And it allows you to find something in a big block of JSON with an expression. So we look here for the entry books, then we match all the records with title being this one, and get the field the price field, and then we replace it with a new value. So that's something we had last year. Now someone complained to me that, well, they don't want to just use here a fixed value. They want to determine which value to use with a calculation. So we want to run over a big block of JSON. Like you may find, let's say, 5, 6 matching records. You want to edit them right here. And you not just change the value, but actually based on the content. So we have a new function, replace with evaluate. So you, again, have a search term and you have an expression. And that's a calculation for FileMaker to execute and give the new JSON to use. So to give you an example, we have a function current match to return you the current JSON value. This is a little trick I use here to basically push the old JSON into your calculation because we don't want to just mess up your calculation string. There's a function for this. And this is thread safe, so you can use it on server scripts. And it will give you the right JSON. And this expression here is executed for every found position to modify the JSON as you want. And this is just here asking for the current JSON and passing it back. So this does nothing.
Well, that makes
And then I got here the calculation 1, 2, 3. And this calculation does exactly what the old replace did. It just replaces every found set, every primary key here with the value 1, 2, 3. So, but we could do have maybe a little bit fun. So we can ask for the current JSON and we can ask for the path where the JSON is found. So this would tell me all the positioning where it finds the primary key and gives me the path in the JSON. So it would say here entry 0 primary key, entry 1 primary key, and so on. And we just build a list. And now we want to do something more useful. Like we go over one JSON, find all the primary keys, and now for the JSON we have, we run a SQL command to find related records based on the SQL, ask the plugin for the JSON of of these records, and then we store the records in the JSON.
Oh, that's interesting. So it does a replace and then search and then adds new related records to your
Yeah. So it does a loop over all the found entries. And for each entry, we make the SQL query to get records, convert them to JSON, and insert them. And
it's a lot that happens in one. That's actually really cool.
did I do? No.
I like the dragon dinosaur thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's just a test database.
I love the test. It looks like my kids ran. Oh, there we go. Nice.
Yeah, just a picture. No, maybe the wrong one. Oh, shit. Okay. We have assets. So let's get. Is that my test database? No, this is the wrong one. Okay, so we can just see if we can make something like this.
Do it real time.
yeah, let's say, hello world. So we have two records. Let's get JSON. Oh, we need related records. So here used by someone, and here the other one. So we need the records as JSON. So let's see, we need a variable with so I usually specify MVS FMSQL execute current file name. Doesn't hurt to put it in there. So let's say we select star from assets. Let's just see if that works. Yeah, we get back a number. So this is our found set. Let's ask for the JSON. JSON records, $SQL. We need field names. Oh, we need field names. So maybe let's limit this to name, primary key, description. So let's just put this field list here. It's comma. So don't forget to clean up. Release $SQL. So, and what can we do with the JSON? Or we could at least put it in a global variable and run it and see if we got something. There it is. So we got a JSON.
Yep, returns both. Cool.
And we have a primary key here. So now I can take the expression I made here and just see if we get that to work on the JSON we have. Oh, and it works right away.
Oh, that's
You
cool.
see, it puts in here the assignments automatically. So this is kind of a little bit of, yeah, let's say meta programming, or we are writing an expression here in FileMaker, which I of course usually prepare upfront by running it in the data view alone, and here until it works, and then I put all the backslashes in with the search and replace.
Okay.
This means here using 3 backslashes because this is a quoted string passed with quotes to the SQL, so it needs extra quoting because here there's a space in the field name. But the SQL will then find here this fields, and we get the JSON. And so if you need to do any very advanced JSON queries, you can do that.
Officially, I want to say that I'm not much of a SQL person. A while I am still coming to grips with having to do JSON or JSON. And that's something I think that is universal, Margaret, right? So yeah, this is some pretty advanced stuff, Christian Schmidt. My head is spinning, just so you know.
It is cool that can automatically pull up the related records. That's like,
and then you can even extend it here and query the assignments and find the employer records from this example. So you can do this on several levels if you want.
so you can stack the amount of related records you're grabbing?
Yeah. So you can have, in this case, you can have the assets, and every asset has the list of the employees. Now, as here the assignments, and then every assignment has a record for the employer.
That's cool.
So you can do several limits, and that's just here basically running one replace loop and then running another replace loop on the assignments.
It's definitely the deep end of the pool. If you're a new FileMaker developer or new to intermediate, this is probably, unless you came from another programming background, this is going to cause your head to explode. So just keep that in mind. So if you feel like your head's getting warm and it might melt, that's normal for what happens here when you start doing deep stuff. So
okay, let's talk about, so first we have the announcement in the blog. I should tell people, you can go and read it. There is a release notes file. That's basically my report of what I worked on in the last 2 months. And then there's also the list of the new functions in the documentation. So that's what we can go through today.
Okay.
That's a total of 70 new functions, and then a few parameters here.
So most of it looks like it's cross-platform. So Lynn from Osos, I don't know if Lynn is here or not, but they're one of the dedicated Windows people, right? So
next thing, if you use our XL functions to read and write Microsoft Excel files without having Excel installed, so you can do it on the server side, on the client side, to read and write Excel files. Some people make custom imports, some people make custom exports, some people take an existing Excel file and modify it and then giving it to FileMaker to import, or let FileMaker export a file and then modify it, and or they just build a file from scratch. And we have new functions for conditional formatting in the plugin. So you can create a conditional format and give it a custom border
I have a
color.
question. Margaret, is this tied back to the question that one person had about Excel? Remember this?
Christian conveniently added a ton of functions about it as he asked the question. So it just happened to coincidentally occur at the same time. And I asked Christian to do a stream on that.
So we had someone ask us about, basically the question is, Margaret, do you remember the question is, can they output out of FileMaker?
They want to export out of FileMaker into Excel a very specific Excel file look without ever having to do it inside of Excel. So
here's the thing with Excel. So just everyone understands that question. It's a good question. How do I output out of Excel? And I could also say, how do you output out to maybe Word file or something like that? And so FileMaker can create the document from scratch. If we go to FileMaker, can you just go to FileMaker quick? Forget their plug.
Take one over here.
Yeah.
And you can say
Go to File.
export
Export.
records.
So what are the options? Yeah. What are our options currently?
There's Excel workbook.
But it's limited, right, Christian? It's pretty limited, right? So the person says, can we do all this? Yeah, that's all you can do, right here.
So we can put in a title and subject, and then we can pick fields.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much in this database, but if you see, you can pick which fields to export, and then you click export, and you get an Excel file. So let me help you out with this, Christian. Take a break, take a drink. So let me help with this, because it's better that if I sell it. So here is the question. So the person that says, I really want to output out of Excel, and I could also say probably Word for that matter. And the issue becomes one, like, how do I do a bunch of custom stuff into Excel? And so there's two things you can do. You can have an Excel file that's already created, and then you tell FileMaker with a plugin to do a substitution into that Excel. So you tell FileMaker to take the plugin to target that file to substitute, like merge fields, like substitute a picture in, substitute this in. A Christian, but the person said, well, I'd really like to be able to do this and not use a plugin. And I'm like, well, pretty sure that you can't get there from here, because Claris is never going to build that. And so the issue comes up that people don't want to use plugins, and they generally don't want to use plugins because some plugins are really expensive. This plugin right here specifically is very inexpensive. People always say I'm not supposed to use the word cheap, because that implies it has low quality. However, the cost on this plugin is like $1.20 or something like that US per month per user who's using it. So it's stupidly inexpensive. How about that? It's not cheap, it's just stupidly inexpensive. And so there's no reason, if you really need to solve a problem, and MonkeyBread does it, not to buy it. I understand you have to install it, you have to manage that, but it opens up so many doors for you that you can't get it. Without that, you can't really do this Excel thing. And I know the person didn't want to buy it, but we're talking about, $1.20
times, however many months. So for the year, it's like maybe $15 for the entire year, right? So pretty inexpensive. So yeah, I just want to, while I'm not here to sell Christian Schmitz software, it's a very compelling product because it's so inexpensive and it does so much stuff. And so that's Margaret, did I nail that
No, it's
correctly?
good. It's always funny too, because the moment we saw this Excel question, I think you and I both looked at each other like, can MBS do this? And we were like, probably.
And if it doesn't, Christian will spend his vacation ignoring his wife and child and adding this to the product, right? So
Okay, so let me just show you a specific example, which is named change column names, because that's really a big request we get. So you load an Excel workbook here from file or from container, and then you just use our cell wide text function to write whatever text you want into whatever cell you want. The header text is just
this is editing.
cell.
This is editing an existing Excel spreadsheet. That's what we're saying, right? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So the idea is you export it in FileMaker, you load it with a plugin, then you make a few changes and you save it back. That's what a lot of people just do, and that's all they need. They can be happy. If you want to do more, you can actually use a plugin to make yourself an Excel file from scratch. Let me just double click this. Okay, it will open in numbers, but it should look somehow similar. So we wrote all this text, this formatting here, this border lines, this US dollar formatting, the big font here, put in a date, put in a picture, a company name, and this all written in a script. Yeah.
I have a question. So when we do really advanced PDF stuff, we have Dyna PDF as an added thing we kind of have to buy. Is there a look? I'm reading a little note at the top. It says created by libxl trial. So is that a library that you're referencing that we need to buy? And should I ask how much that is?
Yeah, it's just $200.
Oh, okay. That's cheaper than Dyna PDF by quite a bit. So Dyna PDF is quite a bit.
It starts at $200. So
Okay.
the idea here is you would buy a license for the platform you need, or if you're a big company, you buy the enterprise license, and then you put in the license key, and we create a new book and in the script, and we save the book on the end into a container, and in between we create all the content. So we define fonts with specific names and sizes or colors. We specify formats with specific fonts, text alignment. We add a custom number formatting here for the date, another custom number formatting here for the numbers. So this can have formatting for negative numbers, positive numbers, even if this is a formatting for phone numbers, actually. We define border colors, and once we have all the formats defined, we can actually start using them, adding a sheet, setting here grid lines, column width, row width. We write some text here, we make merge cells, we place a picture. So it's writing text, it's writing a formula. So you can do it all piece by piece in the script. And you can loop over your records to add as many records as you need for the rows you have in your database.
Wow.
And as you see, it's all by code here. And if you export in FileMaker, FileMaker will actually do something similar. It has a script built into FileMaker, which goes over your data and writes an Excel file. And we do the same thing here, by hand. So.
But it means you can be extremely customized. We have a kind of question. I've used JavaScript to generate formatted Excel files, but found there was a limit to how much data I could pass into a variable. Is MBS able to create larger formatted Excel files?
Yeah, they can be hundreds of megabytes big.
That's because he's not blowing it all. Okay, so back to that question, Margaret. I think this person is building it in JavaScript in a variable. And what Christian's doing here, Christian, if you want to go back and recap this, but he starts it going, and I think it's an external file, and then you're editing it against that external file. Is that what you're doing, Christian?
No, we are building this all in memory.
Okay, well, that's what this person's asking. They're asking is
Yeah.
how far can you go before your memory kind of
This
blows up?
can, your Excel file in memory can use gigabytes of data if you want.
Okay.
And then on the end, it's all assembled and saved as a document to a container or to file on disk.
Okay, but a container has a limit of what, 4 gigabytes a container?
I
So,
think, yeah.
so yeah, you might want
I
to.
don't hope that this is a limit for you.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Good.
We
Good.
have seen people with very big files, but not gigabytes big. It's
Yeah, that's a pretty damn
not
big
very
Excel
common.
file. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm just asking the question because the person brought it up about the memory. You know, how much memory can you do? Whose question was that,
Okay,
Margaret? That's a good
so
question.
this example creates an, let's see.
Who?
Yeah, you will run into problems with Excels and the number of rows it can do. There's an older Excel format, the newer Excel format. Let me just make a little test here and say, instead of just making, what is here, 37 rows, let's say we make a for loop here and say we make
Whoa, whoa.
100 times that. Strings, just put it in the middle.
Got to fix that. Yeah, fix that 37 down there, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, so no, we just count up row by 1 and
Sure. Okay.
dollar row plus 1, and then of course we need here to put something big
Yep.
here. Let's say
Yep.
1,000
Yeah.
on it.
Okay.
Did it run? I don't know.
That's pretty damn fast if it ran. No.
So white formula. Well, it's blank lines. That doesn't make sense. That's the content. That's the content here.
Did the
What
script
was
actually
the-
run? Did you actually run the script?
You see grapes, so there must be the text for grapes somewhere. There. So here it's actually writing the content.
Okay.
So instead of writing blank lines, let's just write here content, and we put in dollar row. I mean, that's just a sample writing 1,000 rows.
Okay. So 1,000 crepes of rows. Okay. Or something like that.
Yeah,
That's fine. Just to see it go. That's pretty fast.
sheet 1, what's here, the yellow line? Oh yeah, it's my search result. So there's the file 3.
We have faulty
Did it
crepes. Try it again. Yeah, try it.
1, 2. Did I click the button?
I don't think you clicked the button that one. There you
Oh,
go.
no, I clicked
There
the
you
button.
go. Yeah, now you click the button. All right, good.
Okay, I got 1,000 rows. And how long does it take? I don't know.
That was close to instantaneous.
1
Yeah,
second.
that's fast enough that no one should really about it. That was like a whole second, if that. A whole
Yeah,
second.
and this is just 60 kilobyte big. So usually speed is not the problem. It may take you longer to get the data together.
Okay.
So, but the actually cool thing I wanted to show is here conditional formatting. So we can define a rule to make every text here starting with an A bold by defining a rule in the script. So most people will just load a template file where all the conditions are already in, but you can also create conditions on the fly. So we define a conditional format with here bold font, and then we just apply it to a range. So there's a range here defined with the row numbers from 2 and column numbers. from 2. And then we define a rule. And for this rule, you can have different modes. And this is beginning with and beginning with an A. And you can define quite a few operations here, like ends with or contains or
Okay.
unique values. So you can define rules to highlight certain things. And another thing we did was here to add color. Let's just see. This doesn't show an. What do I need? I need a different app. There's 2. LibreOffice. So we define the color.
Oh yeah,
here.
look at that. Okay.
Different colors in for different texts. You can also highlight cells where the value is high enough, and this is a rule. So whenever I change the value, the color will change.
Mhm.
Oh, so it bakes that in. That's cool.
Yeah, the rule is in the file.
Mm.
This is some rules don't work with numbers, so you have to really get Excel. So here we have this rule to make every even line gray.
Okay, real quick. LibreOffice is an open source kind of copy of Excel. Is that's what
Yeah.
that is? I haven't seen that in a long time. So, if you're using it, it's still a thing, right? So, okay.
Well, it's just a free download, and so why not?
Yeah. No, I get it. It's
can-
a lot cheaper than. So LibreOffice is that's Word too. It's what, Word and Excel both? Is that what it does?
Yeah,
Okay.
those. So here, if you say new, you can pick whether you want text,
Presentation.
or-
Oh wow, a database. What kind of database is in there? What is that? What is that bullshit? What is that?
Okay, database with it.
Okay, I don't know. Some sort of SQL thing or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's not FileMaker. That's cool. I just thought I saw that. I'm like, right? So yeah, cool.
So
I haven't seen
somewhere
this
here,
probably in 15 years, Margaret. It's been a long time since I've seen this.
Okay, so and here in the tool, you can actually see whatever rule is defined. So there's a user interface to define such a rule in LibreOffice, as well as Excel also has a dialog, and the rule is in the file, so you can change the values and the color changes.
That's really cool.
Oops. So let's close it. So some people have fun with that and build very nice Excel files in FileMaker with a plugin. Do we have any questions about that?
Yes, we've got a couple. A lot of people are very excited about this. Are these export Excel functions Windows friendly? I think you said that earlier, but I'll ask you to
Let me see. Mac, yes. Windows, yes. Linux, yes. Server, yes. iOS, yes.
He's basically said yes to everything. So yeah, I mean, it seems to me that it's not really Mac specific, kind of operating system dependent. So yeah, this is pretty great.
Can you convert the Excel file to PDF or a Word file?
No.
Oh, okay. Write that down. On this date and time, Christian Schmitz said no. May 15th. All right, we can't.
May I change that and say we have a little example project here. I think this one here, print documents, where we have documents and a file. Let's see, TIFF, PNG. There's a Word file, and we can create a PDF document. What the hell? There's a warning coming. So we have here a script that should convert the Office file using LibreOffice. That's why I installed it. So we write it to a temporary file, and then we use here a command line tool to convert the file. And when it finishes, we can read in the file. And this should usually work, but or maybe I shouldn't have it open. Let's see. Yeah, there is my Word file. Same for the .x. So you can use a tool like LibreOffice to actually render your Excel file And maybe I can show that with the example file we had. Where is my example file? Create PDF. And then I can export it to the desktop.
So there you go.
So we ask LibreOffice to open this file, convert it to PDF, and then we can use that PDF. And this conversion also works on Mac, Windows, and Linux, as far as I know. You just need to have the LibreOffice application installed somewhere.
There you go. Yeah, people are saying this is really cool. Jesse mentioned this might be the feature to get approval for getting MBS.
So what else do we have? Also an Excel file, yeah. PowerPoint file can also be converted. So LibreOffice does it all, and we can just use that to make the PDF.
There you go, Enkelburn73.
So when we are done with questions, let's take a look what else we have.
Yeah, I think we're good, so feel free to go forward.
LibreXL can also do SVG. So if you have a picture in an Excel document, you can extract the picture with a plugin. And you can ask the plugin for the types. And this may be a PNG file, a JPEG, Windows Matter file, GIF, DIP, an extended matter file, an SVG, and a TIFF. And SVG is new. So if you like to put vector graphics into your Excel files, you can do that. Here with add picture file or that's with a file path. We should also have one with a container. So and you can add a picture or you can extract a picture.
It's nifty,
and it
actually.
includes. So
File and extract.
another thing is, I'm not sure how many people in the audience use the FileMaker iOS SDK, but we got printing functions for this. So if you write an iOS solution with the FileMaker iOS SDK and you want to control the printer, you can use a plugin with a print function to send a PDF directly to a specific printer with or without the dialog. So I think we got a blog post about this. So yeah, that's how the dialog looks like. So you can pick a printer and you can check how many copies you want, what paper you want to use, and then send your records to the printer. And this would help for a point of sale application, maybe, where you want to receipt without a dialog to the next printer.
Now this is very cool. It couldn't print it all beforehand, right? Or is it just allowing
Well,
you?
FileMaker can, of course, print, but you have to use a dialog and pick the printer yourself. And the plugin would take a PDF you made with FileMaker and then send it to the printer.
There we go.
Then we have functions for MongoDB. You may have heard of this little database engine. And if you have a customer with a MongoDB, you can connect with the plugin to it. And new in the newer plugin versions is a possibility to run custom commands. So MongoDB defines a lot of commands, which I don't have directly in the plugin, but you can use this function to send a command directly to the MongoDB, let it run, and get back an answer as a JSON. This could be anything like a management function or like a command to create a user. And we don't have that directly here, so you would use it as this command, this function in the plugin. There's also a version for query, so you get back a record set, and you can go through the record set, and you can send a command to a specific server if you have a farm of multiple server running your database. Because that's one of the cool things with MongoDB, that you can have several servers operating like one database server, and you connect always to the one which is closest to where you are.
Got it. But if you want to identify something specific, now you can. That's nifty.
Yeah. So next thing was curl. So we have a lot of curl functions, and they can do a lot of things like here FTP, directory listing, email sending, receiving. They got improved with a new version of the curl library. And we added a way to pick the SSL backend. So you can decide whether you want to use OpenSSL, which is the default, or you want to use Apple's Secure Transport or Windows Secure Channel. So if you have a specific need to use certificates installed on your computer to do your SSL handshakes, you can use the native APIs, otherwise we default to OpenSSL. And also I helped on the curl project to implement international domain names for Apple operating system, and pushed my changes to the curl project. So they are going in the next version, and you can already enjoy that in the plugin. So
That's awesome. Questions?
yeah, just to tell someone, if you don't know that as an American, but in Germany we have, for example, a domain could have an Ü. So that's just an U, a U with 2 dots on it. And we can now with curl make a connection and get back the result, and then just block it.
Oh, that's awesome. I hadn't considered the fact that it might not see, there's a specific name for that I'm forgetting the new word for.
Yeah, international domain names, and you might find them more in Asian countries.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the US, but
No,
international.
all of our domains are very boring, but in other countries, definitely.
Okay, let me get a timeout here. Seems like I blocked it with a firewall. Okay, so you may use international domains. Then we have the goodies in the plugin. A new goodie. So there was a user complaining about that FileMaker does something they don't like. Let's say you set a field. You go to this dialog here to pick a field from a different table. So I pick a field there. Now I make another set field. And what happens here is that FileMaker will go back to the assets table, but I want to get the next field in the assignments table. So the plugin adds a little shortcut here.
Oh, okay. I stepped out for a phone call and I missed the fact we're no longer talking about Excel. Is this like a nice to have thing, Margaret? Like a little bonus item?
This is a nice to have thing for Mac users.
Oh, Mac. Okay. Sorry, Lynn from Austin.
The plugin remembers the last
one we
occurrence,
selected.
the last one selected. FileMaker defaults to the current table occurrence, so you can just click there and jump back to the last one.
Oh my God,
What?
Margaret. You have no idea how much time savings that is. It's so stupid and so minor, and yet you are going to spend hours beating your head. If you're like, who was the guy who's Margaret? Who's the guy who's got to consolidate 30 files into one file? Who was that?
That was, well, it's Rick Fosna and Ed Verkel, I think. So
Both of them. Okay, well, if they're on a layout and trying to reassign the fields, if FileMaker doesn't cooperate, that is a force. You must cooperate at the end of you must cooperate. Otherwise, I'm not going to point my finger pistol.
So also I may point to that you can use Command F on the Mac to go to the search field and then find a field if you don't see it directly.
Margaret, you could type the TO number, like TO8A or something, right? For like, do a search, and then because Chris is not naming it correctly, but that's okay. That's fine.
I think he pulled up one of the basic
This
files.
is a standard example coming with FileMaker.
This isn't Christian's fault. This is someone else. This is someone else.
Okay, it's not his fault.
Okay, so you can jump right away there, and this helps people. And I made it also for other dialogues. No, which dialogue was it?
We should send this to Rick Kalman, Margaret, the quality of life part of this thing. Would you chop this off and quality of life improvements for MonkeyBread 14.2? I like it.
So it's just one little thing, and yeah. So there are several dialogues, and I made it for several dialogues. So the plugin keeps an eye on which dialogues you use.
Mhm.
And let's see, I go here to assignments, pick one, and then I go here on the other line. Oops. Yeah. So there are several of these field picker dialogues in FileMaker, and I think I made it for 2 or 3 of them. So just enjoy and
just enjoy and buy my product, right? No, I'm absolutely, I'm not making fun of you. It's stupid little things like that that make the product so much more great.
so we got here, I put it in as number 41 on this website about the goodies.
Yes.
And
Wait, are all these like quality of life improvements right here?
yeah, and we
did
had
it-
live
we
streams
did 2
about that.
streams. Mhm.
Yeah, and you see in the field picker, oh, we also have this copy full field specification command that someone also requested, so I can use here copy, and then I get it with the table name.
Writing
Stop!
curriculum
It's
so
a
much
it's a
easier.
it's a
Oh my
stop. It's a fully, they call that a fully qualified field, right? As opposed to, what's the other word if it's not fully qualified? One of the live stream people there, help me out with this. Fully qualified versus not fully qualified. They don't say not fully qualified, but that's the other thing. Margaret, if you could look over there and see if anyone jumps up with that answer, but it's
people are saying that they feel like it's Christmas.
it's yeah,
So,
it's
okay.
it's monkey Christmas. Yeah, so I know.
So if someone can send me the right words to use, I will.
No, I think I just I think fully, I'll find out, but I think it's fully qualified is the English term for that.
Yeah,
which tells you the base of where the field comes from as opposed to it being a local reference, right? So yeah.
okay, if someone could send me that, and please with 12 translations, because I have to change it for all the languages.
Yeah. Okay, that's not going to happen. So yeah,
Okay, we got that. So it's documented here, and so people can use it. So what do we have? We have a function for the moving average. So that's something I did over time to FileMaker here, add some mass functions, because, well, there are some mass operations which are not built into FileMaker directly. You can do something with custom functions, but here moving average is something the plugin may do quicker than you may do in a custom function.
I feel like you're channeling Hansa from 2-4U. Yeah, so yeah, he's like, oh, the calculations are old and they're too slow, right? So, and he's not wrong. It's just like you got to go to Claris.
No, you have to say the calculation engine is optimized to run on a Mac with 128 kilobytes of memory and be very efficient.
Okay, I could try that on the Claris when I'm down there tomorrow. See what they say. They're going to look at me like, "What's a Mac with 128 kilobytes of memory?"
Yeah, well, a lot of things are optimized to be processed in chunks, and they could just throw that code out and just do it all in one block. It often be quicker. So if you have a list of numbers, you add a new number every time, and you want to have a moving average. You can get it from the plugin. You can specify whether you want a simple or weighted or exponential one, and the window size, so you know how many values to take into account. And this is a thing, if you so you can you know this bar charts where they have a line smoothing over it.
Yes.
So if you want to do that in FileMaker, you can use this function to calculate the average. Okay. It's just a little thing, and someone asked about it, and basically everything here, someone asked about it. I mean, I would need that.
There's flatten right there. That's a good one, Margaret.
Yeah, but first we come to remove preview, because a FileMaker container may contain actual data and a preview picture.
Stop. Back up and explain this again. Let's say, because I have not covered this. The idea is when you drag an image, doesn't matter what the format of the image is, when you drag it into a container, FileMaker almost always creates a parallel image that it will actually display that's a JPEG. Is that correct? Do I have that right?
Yeah, something like that. So let's find
Find me a picture,
yeah.
preferably safe for work, or a picture of you when you're
Oh,
like
that could
12.
be complicated. Let's say here's a
So-
TIFF.
Oh, there you go. Very safe work. Okay, so say that this is a TIFF or a PNG or something like that. FileMaker converted it to a JPEG.
I will check if it did here.
Okay, and see what
So
happens.
evaluate. So as you see, here is a JPEG and a TIFF.
So the original was a TIFF. It converted a JPEG. So when it's displaying the picture over there, it's not showing you the original TIFF. It's showing you a JPEG. That's an important thing. Okay, so everyone understands that. So if you upload a JPEG, it probably creates a second JPEG and a style and a quality level that it prefers, would be my guess.
Yeah, not with a JPEG, normal JPEG.
Really? It doesn't do, okay. All right, so the question is, what does your function do then? It removes the
Okay,
it removes the
container.
Yeah, remove preview.
Yeah, and I put in my image and send it through and ask what's in it after.
Yeah, it's still there. Should
Well,
be
it's
still
broken.
there. Not broken.
It's
That's
broken.
what that's what it should do. It shouldn't allow you to remove the that needs a display. I mean, if you were figuring out how to like remove the JPEG, then what would it back up, Christian? Take it off the layout, move to a different layout where that's not on there. Move it to a different somewhere else. Okay, move it like something. Yeah, there. Now do it again. No. Now leave it. Now come back over to your run it again. Okay. See what I'm saying? So it'll let you remove it as long as it doesn't need it. If it needs it, it's probably going to recreate it, would be my guess.
So I have to check again if we probably remove it, but no, we can't access it. It's not a related record.
Okay. But you see my point. You see my point, right? If it needs it, because if you removed it, what is it going to do would be my question, right? If you remove the JPEG, what is it? It's going to recreate it, or is it going to show nothing? What's going to happen? It's not going to show
as a file container. It should show like a
an icon, just an icon
you added with a file. Yeah, as an icon.
Okay,
that's what should happen.
Okay,
because it doesn't have a preview.
Okay,
but I am currently not sure why it didn't work, because when I made it
worked just fine.
It worked fine.
Of course,
was happy.
It was wonderful. Was happy. Okay, so
currently it doesn't work here. I would have to check again. Okay. Well, that's why.
Was the record locked? Was the record locked or something? I don't know. Whatever. Whatever.
We will check again.
Okay, back up a second though. So the JPEG is in there. It's on a per record basis. So if the record is locked up, can you edit or remove that JPEG, or is that part of the record locking? You can't touch it thing.
What I do is I just change the container value in memory, and then you can put it back into. So let me try it for. I have a PDF now.
Okay.
It's now PDF. So we have a PDF and a PNG this time.
Okay, so its preview is a PNG, is what in this case. Okay, interesting.
So now let me see if my function works at all. Yeah.
Okay, now it's gone. Now go back over there to the no, leave that. Go over there and see. Just navigate away.
No, I can actually put it back in the field. That's what you want. Set field, image.
Well, that would.
And put that. So. And FileMaker recreated it.
You recreated it. Okay.
Yeah, but let me see what's in the container field now. This is, of course, messing up with internals.
So I think the fundamental for a lot of newer people is that when you put something in the container, that FileMaker is going to generate a JPEG or a PNG.
Oh,
so
it worked. It worked.
Okay, great. Okay.
So we have the preview picture removed, and there's only a PDF in the container,
Yeah, but
FileMaker still displays it.
I don't think it's refresh the screen. Refresh that. Go to a different record. Come back. Just flip a record and come back. Come back. I'm
Okay.
suspicious of that. I am very
We
suspicious.
inspect the container, the picture is
So
removed.
now it's showing a PDF. You're saying so instead of it showing the PNG.
Yeah, either let me close the file and open it again.
Yeah, clear the cache, whatever. I don't know. So,
No, it's still there.
I'm suspicious. My suspiciousness is suspiciousy.
Yeah, somewhere FileMaker still either they render it on the fly or
Okay, stop.
It's still in
Close the
cache.
file and clear the cache on the file. Close that. Go up to preferences in FileMaker and show everyone how to clear the cache. Clear FileMaker settings, which used to be preferences. You go hit the button that says down right. Oh, no, you were there. Go back to general. Down,
Oh.
right there. Down. That one. Press that.
okay.
Hit okay. Try again. Try again.
Still
It's
there.
still there. No, but check to see if it recreated it.
So if we ask what's in the container, no.
All right. I don't
So
know.
FileMaker renders the PDF on the fly instead of showing us a preview picture.
Okay, I don't know what the consequences. That's like going into a bank and pulling a gun. You don't know what's going to happen after you do that. So, so I just saying out loud, I don't know what happens, right? I mean, because that could have performance implications. I mean, it's one of those things. It's a good tool to have. I'm not complaining, Christian. You know me. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. You pull the gun at a bank, Christian. I don't know what's going to happen. If the security guard there, did they take their job seriously? Do they not give a shit? What happens? I don't know.
So let me create let me make this containers external.
Well,
So that's what people usually have. You see there is a TIFF and a JPEG. From the TIFF, yeah. The PDF.
those are different records. Those are different records.
Okay,
I
so
never
I
see the preview in the external container. I've never seen the preview.
So I just put in a new one here, and you see FileMaker creates a PNG and a PDF.
Really? I got to try that.
And I have the script here to remove the preview, run it again. And you see that FileMaker removed the image file.
Put it back in there again one more time. Let's do it again.
Make a new one, put the installation one here.
How come I've never seen that before where it puts where it does the preview in there? I've never.
Yeah. So, and if I remove the preview, FileMaker will remove the old files and make a new file because it adds this one. But you can remove the one if you want. Let me just set variable. So we put it in a variable. And $image. So I have to swap the lines. So, and here in between we clear and we commit. So, let me make a new record. And what do we have? So, this one is new. Okay. So you see we have here those files. And now I run my little script here. And we only have the PDF.
Is anyone else on the live stream, Margaret? Are they saying that they've seen it where it creates a preview before? Because I have never seen that where it creates the preview in there. It creates the original in there because he's storing it externally unencrypted, which is fine. I've just never seen it put the preview in there, which I find.
And that's what a client complained about. So
I understand. I wonder if that's a.
People are typing, so I would let you know if they have had this issue.
I need to not, well, or if they've seen this or they are, I mean, I guarantee at one point it wasn't putting the preview in there. Okay. I don't know at what point the preview became visible or why they shove it in there, make it visible. I don't know, but that at some point in 17 or 18, it wasn't doing that. I don't know. I didn't, once again, so a lot of times you're like, well, you haven't looked at it since. It's like, I don't look at every damn little screw or nail that's in FileMaker every release. I mean, hell, we're coming up on the next release, 21-24, and I'm assuming this doesn't change, but some things will invariably. Okay. Any comments, questions from the audience? This is really good. We're over time, but this is, Christian, really good. You do such a good job. And you make my head hurt.
Solving problems for people.
Kyle said he's seen this. He said it didn't. He doesn't think it always did it. It was maybe
is
with
this
like
Kyle Williams. Is this Kyle Williams?
Yeah, Kyle Williams.
Okay.
He thinks it was added with FM 2020.
It would make sense. It was added. It didn't used to do this. All it did was stick the original, which made you ask the question where, of course, the logical person would say, if it creates a preview and saves the preview and doesn't dump the preview, then where is the preview at? And it's in the damn file. So it really needs to be externally saved. So you're not putting even the preview image as a container inside the file, right? So it's like, I don't remember where this was a change, but this is a behavior change.
So let me just open an older version of FileMaker.
How old are we talking here?
There's a 17.
Okay, then create then where's the, okay, yeah, there we go.
What do I need?
We need you need another picture or something. It added both.
Yeah.
I saw it do that.
Oh, sort by date, yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it didn't always do this. Because I have videos on live stream where I talked about this and it doesn't create, I never had to explain what the second file was because it never showed it to us.
Okay, here.
I know you're making me to be a liar. That's fine. I don't mind. I'm fairly confident this has not always been a thing. But once again, I don't know.
Now I run the script again here. Old script editor. And yeah, it's just one file left. Okay. A little utility function. People should not mess with that usually because they want the previews.
Yeah, flatten is good. That's a good one.
Flatten is another one. So do we have an example for that? Yeah, trim picture, the trim picture example. I have that built in. So I need a picture with transparency. Do I have one? So let's take this is an old one. Remove alpha channel. Oh, we don't see anything. Put in red. So old picture for me. And so the transparent parts become the color you specify. So, and if the picture has actually
transparency, right? Yeah.
More transparency than this. It's just add some more. So
that's called an alpha channel marker for the most part. It's a layer of
show a new window. I pick a gray color and just so I put extra alpha there. So drop it in on the script again, and you see there's more of the red color coming through.
Okay.
So the idea is that people need to prepare pictures for exporting as a JPEG. JPEG doesn't do transparency, so you have to remove the alpha channel. And you don't want to just remove it because it would reveal what's behind here.
Okay.
So you want to blend it against the color, and then you can save the JPEG. And that's what the flatten function makes, to move the alpha channel. I'm not sure how many people do image editing in FileMaker.
I have. That's one reason why you're on the show, because I got crazy one time with doing thumbnails for videos, and we would grab a thumbnail and turn it in and stuff.
Let's take the next function here. Is user immutable? So people ask me, how can we handle the locked flag here in the Finder? So users may have a file marked as lock, and that's this function. It tells you whether the locked flag is there, and you can use the set function to turn the lock on and off. So sometimes you may need that. And what you also may need is to have the overlay be animated. I think that's something we talked about on the live stream. There's the overlay.
Yes, we talked about overlay for your 14.1 release, I think.
Yeah. And now I can just have a script move it over the screen.
Like a DVD bouncing logo.
Yeah.
No, we had this. We talked about this. This is the one where we're trying to figure out if we could do a transient notification with it, right? So,
but it didn't move before, but now it moved. That's really cool.
Oh, he's animating it? Okay, so I missed that. How do you do it?
It's just a move function. It got a new parameter for the duration. So if you pass in a number bigger
Okay,
than
so then
0,
we need the toaster, the flying toaster thing. So we have after dark flying toasters. Yes. So
okay.
not being,
So-
unfortunately, when I see logos flying around screen, I just think of the toasters that after dark toasters. So yes. So.
Okay. Then another thing for all Windows people,
Oh,
we have a function for the web viewer. There, web viewer set preferences, which allows you to configure a web viewer with a ton of options. And a new thing for Windows is that you can define whether you want to enable swipe navigation. So users on a touchscreen Windows laptop can use the fingers. Or if you have PDF toolbar items, you can decide which items to show or disable. So if you show a PDF in a web viewer on Windows, you can decide what's showing on the toolbar for the PDF. People like to disable things like save. Okay. Now looking on the function list, let's see, do we have anything we missed? We have some here dictionary function.
sure, there's quite a bit we missed.
One.
You only have 5,832 new functions in here. Holy shit.
Yeah, here the list dialog function can now decide, so you can decide in a script whether it shows a close box.
Okay.
Your MongoDB connection can have an app name to show up in log files. We have trim functions for left and right, because just trimming is not enough.
Trim Trump does front and back both, right? So what you're just doing
trim
one
does
side.
both. We have a function, a text trim function for both sides, and we have one for just left and one for just right.
Just right. Okay, good. All right.
So, and our functions to get JSON from a matrix has now new parameters as well as the XML and JSON functions here. And if you calculate a hash for a big file, you can now have a progress bar being updated while the hash is calculated. Because I have people, they have a gigabyte big files managed in FileMaker. So they don't store them in FileMaker, of course. They just manage them. They want to know if two files are the same, so they calculate a hash value.
And so all you do is update progress bar. And
so there's a moving progress bar while it calculates. So another thing I did, the system info function for CPU load. So you want to know how busy your CPU is. This function got updated to work on Windows now, not just Mac.
Okay.
So the idea here is that you can ask for the statistics and know how much CPU time is used, calculate deltas to see how much time was used for in a certain script. So you can ask before and after, do some math on it. Also, you can calculate how much time is, how the percentage is of the usage. So,
yeah, because you would assume, you'd have to know how much you're actually doing as opposed to what the total load is. So
technically, you can have a script on a server, see how much is the load, and then decide to do something now or later.
Yeah, because the server's busy.
So
yeah, that's pretty smart.
So there's another thing we had.
He won't stop. He won't shut up. All right, keep going, Christian. You're good.
So I made the execute file SQL work with alter table on the server. And the idea here is people love to save clones of their databases. But when you save a clone, all the data is not included. It's just the schema. Now you like to store some data in the schema to get it through the cloning process, like the version number of your file. So we put the version number of a file to the default value of a field. And we use SQL to update this in a script. So you have a script doing the save as clone. And before the script runs, before the script makes the clone, you can say alter table, maybe add a field and put in a default value.
You're changing the name of the table. Is that which am I understanding this
here,
right?
Here you have data here.
An auto enter calc. Okay.
Yeah,
You put it in there.
Put in here data.
Oh.
And we can change that value in the schema based on SQL. So we can add a field, we can query a field, and we can update the
Holy
field. So we say alter table, change the field, and set the default to the new version number.
People are going to have to
Others-
sign a waiver before they watch this live stream that they won't sue us because of mental distress.
Okay.
I'm sorry. We're going to need to put a warning. The following broadcast is so awesome that your head may explode. Viewer discretion is advised.
This is extremely cool, though.
So, and this can happen on a server because of a little modification of this function. And if you need, you can also check the mod count to know whether it changed. But
That's a thing in there, Margaret. You wear the FileMaker tracks on a per record basis. How often a record is edited? Like if you click in it and click and type and click and type it.
But this is the mod count on how often the field definition changed.
Field definition change. Okay, that's even deeper that I wouldn't normally see, but yeah.
That's interesting.
So, in this auto enter data for the field, you can store actually a few megabytes of text. So if you need to transfer text with your clone to from the designer database to the production database, you can stuff it in the schema, and you can update it by script.
That's another live stream we need to do on mod count for records.
That'd
and
be
applicable uses for, yeah, because it's
I
not
think-
that complicated.
Can you make like a log basically of developers developing in the background then? Like if they change.
To a degree, but I don't know how deep you can go.
So the idea here was that we can carry over some version information in our clone file, so we actually can see which version of the file it is without relying on file names.
Huh.
But you can store a big JSON block there if you want.
That's
So if you like to check out the plugin, please go on the website.
You like to come buy it. I mean, if you haven't bought it, you're blowing it, right? So yeah, I don't know what to tell you folks, but
with the Excel.
that's all for today.
I did.
That's all for today.
Now he wants to leave. Now he wants to leave. It's been an hour and 20 minutes, and now he wants to leave. So so everyone understands, I personally wrote a check the other day to renew essentially a site license for MonkeyBread for RCC, and then I have I think an applicable license for Dyna PDF. So because the stuff's so good, you think that he pays me to come on the show. No, I basically pay him to come on the show. It's that good. So yeah, this is that awesome.
Do we have another question?
We do actually, so I'll throw it at you before we go.
Can I ask people quit asking questions, or we're going to be here all night?
Is there a function which can use push notifications for iOS and macOS?
Yeah, you go on the documentation and then you search for notification and you find notifications for iOS and macOS. I think this one is a
That's
new
so
one, and you can receive push notifications.
What
So it's
the
local.
Oh man, you hurt my head, Christian. You do. You hurt my head.
So I can check which function is it and then turn it off so it shows no.
Just round to the closest whole number. Oh shoot. Okay. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
but yes, you can get push notifications on iOS with the plugin. You need the FileMaker iOS SDK, yeah, not FileMaker Go.
Yeah, so the one thing that we can't do is or I say Christian
Plugins
Plugin.
on Go. Yeah,
Yep.
plugins on Go. That's an Apple Claris thing. So yeah. All right.
Okay, with that being said, I believe Christian's coming back not next week, but the week after to do like a breakdown of the Excel stuff, like deep
More
dive.
Excel? I thought that was pretty deep as it was. He's
Well,
gonna more deep than that. I'm overwhelmed. That's a lot.
Thank you. Have a good one. We will see you tomorrow.
relational.